Yep, I'm in here. You'll see me in a second. I had to find myself. I got nope. Stop that. Technology, you gotta love it. What's happening, y'all? How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Messages in the Madness with yours truly, Vernon Longhorn Davis. It's Sunday, 8 o'clock. I'm here, you're here, and I'm glad you're here. Thank y'all for being here. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for supporting our stream, supporting our message. We've been doing this four, coming up on 5 years, or however long I started in the pandemic, so we still doing it. Hey daughter, good to see you. Thank you very much for stopping in, popping in tonight. Hope everybody can hear me. I think I got the technical difficulties squared away, so we should be good tonight. But yeah, it's Sunday, and it was a beautiful hot day here in St. Louis today, and then rain. Got some rain. Lord knows I love me some rain. I do not know why, but I love me some rain. And the more it rains and the thunder and all that, it just makes me smile. And but I could tell you the reason why, and it's because, as they say, no matter what's going on, everybody is equal in the rain. So make sure you hit like or love, share the message tonight if you enjoy the message. For those of y'all who are just joining us for the first time, thank y'all because we are broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So thank you very much for doing that. So let's get into the message tonight. Our message tonight is why should anyone help you if you're not willing to help yourself? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about tonight. So, hey Annette, glad to see you. Thank you for stopping in, popping in. So let me throw this question out there. Okay, I guess before I can do that, I got to say hi to a few people. Brother August, thank you for stopping in, popping in. Glad that you're here as well. I make sure you hit like, a love, share the message. Matter of fact, send me a thumbs up or something in the comments. Let make sure I'm hearing people, or people are hearing me because I can hear me, but you know what I mean. Let me know that you're hearing me. Um, so yeah, there we go. Okay. So tonight's message again is why should anyone help you if you're not willing to help yourself? And I think that's a lot. I think that's a very good question. So just let me throw this question out there at you. And I'm not going to need your answer. I'm not going to ask you. No, I'm not going to ask you to answer it immediately. I'm going to ask you to answer it honestly to yourself. You can answer out loud. You can answer. You can tell me or not tell me. Just be real with yourself. And that question is really, really simple. Why should anyone help you? Why should anyone help you if you're not willing to help yourself? It's a good question. And some people will not answer that question honestly. Now, before you start getting defensive or thinking I'm trying to call folks lazy, hear me out. Just hear me out, okay? This isn't about shaming anybody. It's not. It's about opening our eyes to a truth that can change the way we live. See, there's a difference between needing help and expecting help. Did you hear me? There's a difference between needing help and expecting help. Needing help is human. We all need help at some point in time. At one point in time in our lives, we've all needed help. Expecting help without lifting the finger, now that's a whole nother story. Or as my granddaughter says, that's a whole nother situation. And but like I said, that's where things get tricky when people are expecting help without lifting a finger. See, hey baby sis, thanks for stopping in, popping in. I want you to imagine, I want you to imagine something for me. You're standing in a swimming pool. So you're standing, but the water is over your head. You can't touch the bottom. You start to struggle. Somebody sees you and jumps in to save you. But here's the thing: you're not moving your arms, you're not kicking your legs, you're not even calling out for help. You're just letting yourself sink, hoping somebody else will do all the work, that somebody will save you. How long do you think that person's going to keep trying to save you before they realize, wait a minute, they're not even trying to save themselves? How long? How long do you think that's going to go on? How long before they say, hey, yeah, I can't do this? We say we want help, but help works best when it meets us halfway. Yeah. Hey, Miss Berrien, thanks for stopping in. Baby sis, thanks for coming in. Good to see you. No, in August, I understand. You may be one of those people who don't really ask for help, but sometimes we all need help, even those who are used to helping ourselves. Sometimes our pride, and I'm speaking from experience, will keep us from asking for that help. Been there. And you've heard me say it on the show before, August. My mom used to tell me, boy, you better swallow your pride and ask for some help before it choked the shit out of you. You ever notice that when you see someone trying, I mean, really, really trying, something in you wants to step in and push them further. Something in you wants to help them be successful at what it is that they're trying to do. Do you know why that is? It's real simple. That's because effort is contagious. Effort inspires help. Effort earns help. Yes, I said earns help. Effort says, I care enough about my own life to put in some work. Now, let me be clear. Yep, that's my presidential. Now, let me be clear. Helping yourself doesn't mean you have all the answers. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean you don't struggle. It doesn't mean you don't get tired or overwhelmed. It means you're making moves, even if they're small. It means you're taking responsibility for the part that only you can control. And that's hard for a lot of people right there. Taking responsibility for the part only they can control. Because see, we're too busy pointing fingers. We're too busy doing that. Instead of, yeah, I had to think about that for a second. You're right, James. I mean, August, pride can be a hard way to do things. But let me be clear again. Helping yourself doesn't mean you have all the answers. It doesn't mean you don't struggle. It doesn't mean you don't get tired or overwhelmed. It means you're making moves, even if they're small. It means you're taking responsibility for the part that only you can control. And going back to that word small and small steps, we've talked about that. Celebrating those small wins, those small victories, taking those small steps, because small things, when you put enough of them together, become very big things. It could be something as small as filling out a job application that you've been putting off, making that phone call you've been avoiding. Maybe you need to call a relative that you really need to talk to that you haven't talked to in a while, and you've been putting it off and avoiding it. Maybe it's showing up to that meeting you almost talked yourself out of. Asking the right questions instead of sitting in silence. And me, I'm guilty. There are times when I will sit in silence, and when I sit in silence, people look at me strange, like, Vernon, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just listening. Every one of those things is a signal to the people around you that you're serious about moving forward. And that's on you. You got to be serious about wanting to move forward. You got to be serious about wanting to help yourself. You see, people respect movement. They do. They respect movement. They respect action. Even if your action is imperfect, it's still better than sitting still. It's better than being still. Sometimes you do need to be still. while you waiting on your answer, waiting on trying to figure out what direction you need to move in. But helping yourself is better than sitting still. I've been on both sides of this. I've had people open doors for me, and it was still on me to walk through those doors. Nobody can just take and pull you through or throw you through. You got to walk through those doors. You got to do that yourself. And I've been willing to help people who were already helping themselves because I see they were serious. I saw they were serious. But I've also had times when I had to step back because I realized I cared more about the situation than they did. And that's a hard place to be in. So let me put it this way. Helping someone who won't help themselves is like pushing a car out of a ditch. Pushing the car out of the ditch while the driver's just sitting there with the engine off. You can push until your back blows out. But if that person in the car don't put it in neutral, take their foot off the gas, take their foot off the brake, or give it some gas if it's running, man, that car ain't going nowhere. You just blowing your back out for no reason. And guess what? It ain't gonna last long. And here's a truth a lot of people don't like to hear. Helpers have limits. Even the most generous person can burn out when they're carrying someone who won't take a step for themselves, not one single step. And and sometimes it's not that people can't help you. It's that they don't want to pour help into a bucket with a hole in the bottom. And that's just being real. Yeah, you're right, James. Pride can be lonely. Nobody can want your success more than you do. Nobody can want to see. You've got to want it. You've got to want it more than the next person. Nobody can want your success more than you do. If you won't fight for yourself, it's hard for people to justify fighting for you. But here's the hope. The moment you start helping yourself, the world tends to respond. The universe tends to respond. It does. You might be surprised how quickly opportunities show up once you start moving. You apply for a job. Suddenly you got 3 interviews lined up. You start one healthy habit and suddenly a friend wants to join you. You ask one person for advice and they connect you to someone who can open a door you never knew was there. All by taking that first step. You don't have to climb the whole mountain today. You don't. But you do have to take the first step. You got to take that first step. That's on you to take that first step. So, classic Gemini says it's hard asking for help because some only do it because they want something in return. That's not that I understand your point, but that's not always the truth. There are some people that don't want anything in return. They just want to help you. Charlotte says, "Hey, I'm late, but Charlotte, thank you for being here. Appreciate that." James says, "We can lead a horse, but we can't make him drink." No, we can't. You're absolutely right. So, how do you start helping yourself? Let's break this down in a way that's practical. First, admit where you are. You can't fix what you won't face. If you're broke, you ain't got no money, say you're broke. Be honest. If you're hurting, say you're hurting. If you're lost, say you're lost. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about being honest so you know what you're working with. You can't fix what you can't say out loud. As they say, it's not real until you say it. Well, it is still real, but it makes it even more real when you say it out loud, because saying it out loud puts it into a whole different content, doesn't it? Context. Second, set one small goal, not a whole life overhauling situation, just one thing. Maybe it's eating one less cookie. Maybe it's taking a walk 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day. Maybe it's sending one email. Maybe it's cleaning one room in your house. Maybe it's applying for one new job. Small wins create momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Confidence is something that a lot of us are lacking, whether we admit to it or not. We are lacking confidence, but that's for another show. The third thing you want to do is ask for the right help. Don't just say, I need help. Be specific. I need help with this. I need help understanding this process. I need help getting in touch with this person. I need help getting to the post office. I need help. Be specific. Being specific shows people you're not just looking for a handout, you're looking for a hand up. Hey, look, I need some help because I don't have any food. How's that for being specific? Hey, can you help me out? I need some gas money. And I'm trying to get to work. Instead of just saying, hey, I need some money. And they look at you and say, I need some money too. So the fourth thing is show your progress. Let people see you're moving. Post about it, talk about it, share it. Not for bragging rights, but to show you're serious about what it is that you have said out loud that you need help with. Hey, Andy, good to see you, my friend. And then the fifth one, stay consistent. A little bit every day is more powerful than a giant burst once in a while. It is. And let me add to that. Let me add to this. You don't have to wait until you feel ready to help yourself. You ain't got to now. Waiting for perfect conditions is like me waiting for a bus to come, the Jennings Station Road bus to come in front of my house. That bus ain't never coming because it's never came. It never will come. It would be the perfect condition if it did run in front of my house, but it's never going to happen. So waiting for the perfect conditions, there are no perfect conditions. It's like, what is a great day to go to jail? There is no such thing. You need to start now with what you have. Start now with what you have in your hand. Start now with where you are. Start now with where you want to be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days from now. Tomorrow, where do you want to be tomorrow? Tomorrow. I'm sorry, is that country boy coming out in me? DC Fluffy says closed mouths don't get fed, and people aren't mind readers. So yes, speak up. And you're right. You got to speak up. You got to say it. You got to say it out loud. So here's my challenge to you. My challenge for the week. I give you a weekly challenge. Before you ask anyone else for help this week, ask yourself, what have I already done to help me? Is this something that I can do myself? How much help do I really need to do what it is that I need to do? If the answer is nothing, you already know your next move, right? You know what your next move is. I had somebody close to me today call me and say, "Hey, I think I need some professional help. I'm not close to where they're at." I talked to them for a little while and I said, "Hey, really proud that you said that you needed some help. Here's what I suggest that you do. Take this step, this step, and this step. Let me know how it's going and let me know how I can support you on this." I've pointed them in the direction of the help that they say they need. Now it's up to them to get that help. Yeah. See, people are drawn to effort. They're drawn to passion. They're drawn to movement. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to show up for yourself. There's a phrase I learned a long time ago. Well, yeah, called self advocating. You need to self advocate. You need to advocate for yourself because it is. People are drawn to effort. They see you trying, they will try with you. They see you have a passion for something. Man, it changes. It changes things. They see you moving in the right direction. They want to move with you or help you move in that direction. There was a comedian, it had to be who 15, I'd say maybe 17 years ago. I'll put it like this. It was instead of Facebook, it was MySpace. And he saw me on MySpace and he said, "Hey man, I see you always hustling, always trying to get on shows. How'd you like to come go on tour with me? It's just a weekend thing, but won't you meet me at this club and this club?" He took me on the road with him. He let me open for him a couple of times. And then he got out of comedy not too long after that. But he saw my initiative. He saw me trying to help myself. And he extended an olive branch and said, "Come on, come on." And I keep up with his career, and I guess he keeps up with mine. But now he's selling out auditoriums. He's selling out uh, venues. He's not doing comedy anymore. He's doing public speaking. He wrote a great book, and I admire the man for that. I do. But he saw me trying to help myself and decided to help me. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to, but he did, and I thank him. I have wrote him and thanked him. I haven't tried to call him because his man stays busy, but I have wrote him and thanked him. So James says, August says he wants to be fishing tomorrow. I hope you do get to go fishing, buddy. Marion says sometimes it just takes a phone call. Yes, it does take a phone call. Make that call. Make that call. Hey, son, thanks for popping in. He says, "I love you, Dad. Thank you for all that you've been and all that you are for me and my family." Thank you, son. I appreciate that. That means a lot. It really does mean a lot. But you are my family. Y'all are my family. So, yeah, you're welcome. And then he says, "You're getting old." Thank you very much. You just mad because you don't look this good yet. So Annette says, "I am the bucket with the hole in it." Then Annette, if you feel like you're the bucket with the hole in it, I need you to plug that hole. I need you to plug that hole with some hope, with some faith. I need you to plug that hole so that your help don't run through it. I need you to plug that hole with love. Yes, plug that hole. And you're right, prayers for Coley Price. Yes, we are all still praying for Coley. And she needs it and she appreciates it. And actually, she's been watching the show. She just hasn't been commenting. But I'll say this part. She reached out to me for some help, and it wasn't even anything major. And not that I'm bragging, so don't take it that way. I helped because I could, and because she's a friend. And she felt like she didn't have anybody else to call. So I helped. Again, people are drawn to effort. People are drawn to passion. They're drawn to movement. You don't need to have it all figured out. You can have a resemblance of a plan. You just need to show up for yourself every day. Show up for you. Show up for you and yours. Because, see, at the end of the day, you're the first investor. You're the first investor in your future. And if you won't invest in you, why should anyone else invest in you? Why should anybody else care? All right, son, give her a hug and kiss from me. But if you won't invest in your future, why should anybody else? That's that's being real. And it says you help everyone. I do try to help people. Sometimes I try to help to a fault. Sometimes helping gets me in trouble, but I do it from the heart. But like this weekend, I did a event last night, and I I got booked for that event 2 weeks ago. It was for songs for soldiers, and I am me. Camp I am me. Songs for soldiers are veteran. Well, all the acts on the show last night were all veterans, and songs for veterans. They help veterans write songs for their loved ones. It's a form of therapy. And then Camp I Am Me is for children that have been victims of house fires, or they're burn victims, unfortunately. But saying all that to say this, I got booked on that show 2 weeks ago with a phone call out of the blue. And the person who referred me was somebody who I did a show for to help them raise money, and I did not charge them. So, but they see me trying to help me, so they decided to reach out and help me also. I helped them, and they saw what I do and they know I love what I do, so they helped me, and I'm grateful. So that's the message for tonight, y'all. Figure out what it is you can do for you. What can you do for you? How can you help you before you ask for some help? Because why should anybody else help you if you won't help yourself? And that's our message tonight, y'all. Anybody got anything else for me in the comments? Let's see what we got here. Well, I guess we don't. So, guys, this has been another episode of Messages in the Madness. I'm your host, Vernon Longhorn Davis. Just like every Sunday, I'm here. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out with me. Make sure you hit like or love, share the message. Greatly appreciate that. And as I always say, I love you. God loves you. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Hug them kids for me. Respect our vets. Until next Sunday, God bless you. $2.